The blue planet hung silent in the darkness of space. Earth looked peaceful from far away, but something was wrong. A strange energy field covered the whole world like an invisible blanket. This field had one job: to keep all the humans asleep. It had been 50 years since the Great Sleep began. 50 long years since the last human voice was heard in the galaxy. The cities on Earth still worked, but no people walked in them. Machines took care of everything while the humans slept in special pods hidden deep underground. On Mars, the red planet that humans had made into their second home, the research stations were just as quiet. Dr. Yansu lay in her sleep pod, her body kept alive by machines while her mind dreamed of nothing. She had been the best scientist on Mars before the sleep. Now she was just another sleeping human, forgotten by the galaxy. Above Earth, the giant space station called Aegis still moved around the planet. Admiral Jin-A slept in her command pod on the station. She had been Earth's greatest military leader, the woman who had scared alien armies with her smart battle plans. Now her brilliant mind was locked away in forced sleep. On the moon, Luna Base was dark except for the red lights that showed the life support was working. Commander Tae-min and his space marines slept in rows of pods, their weapons stored nearby but gathering dust. These were the soldiers who had once made alien empires tremble with fear. Far from Earth, in the cold darkness between stars, aliens watched and waited. They called themselves the Interstellar Council, and they ruled most of the galaxy. The Council had many different alien races. Some looked like giant lizards, others like walking trees, and some were just clouds of smart gas. But they all agreed on one thing: humans must never wake up. Chancellor Daeho was not part of the council. He ruled the Kethran Empire, and his people looked like huge lizards that walked on two legs. Their skin was covered in tough scales, and their eyes were yellow like fire. The Kethrans were smart and cruel, and they had ruled their part of space for 1,000 years. But now the Kethran Empire was in trouble. A new enemy called the Zephyrian Horde was attacking from the edge of the galaxy. The Zephyrians were warriors who lived only to fight and conquer. They moved from planet to planet like a storm, destroying everything in their path. Daeho sat in his private room on his warship, looking at reports that made his blood run cold. His armies had lost 3 big battles in a row. Whole planets had fallen to the Zephyrian attack. His generals were scared, and some of his own people were starting to rebel against him. The Chancellor's long fingers, with claws at the tips, moved across a special computer screen. He was reading files that very few beings in the galaxy were allowed to see. These files told the real story of what happened to the humans. 50 years ago, humans had just learned how to travel faster than light. They were new to space, excited to meet other life forms and explore the galaxy. But when they met the Vrex Confederation, everything changed. The Vrex had ruled a big part of space for over 100 years. They thought the humans would be easy to defeat. Just another weak species that would bow down to Vrex power. They were very, very wrong. The war between humans and the Vrex lasted only 6 months. In that short time, the humans did something that shocked the entire galaxy. They did not just fight back, they won. They destroyed the Vrex military, took over their planets, and started copying Vrex technology to make it better. But what scared the other aliens most was how fast humans learned. A human soldier could pick up an alien weapon and figure out how to use it in minutes. Human scientists could look at alien technology and improve it in days. Human generals could study alien battle plans and find weaknesses that the aliens had never noticed. The Council had studied humans during the war with the Vrex. What they found terrified them. Human brains were different from all other known life forms. They could change and adapt much faster than any alien mind. Humans could learn new things, solve problems, and create tools at a speed that seemed impossible. Even worse, humans worked together in ways that made them incredibly dangerous. When one human learned something, they would quickly teach it to other humans. When humans were threatened, they would fight together with a fury that no alien race could match. The Council realized that if humans continued to grow and learn, they would soon become the most powerful force in the galaxy. Within a few years, human technology would be better than anything aliens had. Human armies would be unstoppable. So the Council made a terrible decision. They decided to put all humans to sleep before they became too strong to stop. They told the galaxy that a dangerous radiation from Earth's sun was going to kill all humans. They said they were being kind by using special technology to make humans sleep until the radiation went away. It was all lies. The truth was that powerful alien machines created energy fields that forced human brains into deep sleep. The same fields kept humans alive but made sure they could never wake up. The Council called it the Mercy Sleep, but it was really a prison. Deho read about how the Council's plan had worked perfectly. Human exploration ships had been captured and their crews put to sleep. Human colonies on distant planets had been surrounded by the sleep fields. Even Earth itself had been covered by the invisible energy that locked away human consciousness. For 50 years, the galaxy had been peaceful. No more human ships appeared at alien worlds. No more human voices asked difficult questions or demanded to trade. The scary humans were gone, sleeping like children, having long dreams. But now Deho faced a problem that might destroy his empire. The Zephyrian horde was winning the war, and his people were losing hope. His advisors whispered that maybe it was time for a new leader. Some of his generals had already started secret talks with his enemies. The Chancellor looked at the files about human military tactics. Even 50 years later, alien armies still studied how humans had defeated the Vrex. Human battle plans were taught in military schools as examples of perfect warfare. Admiral Jin Ai had been especially famous. She could look at an enemy force and immediately know exactly how to defeat it. She could predict what enemy commanders would do before they knew it themselves. She had never lost a single battle. Commander Taimin had been just as legendary among soldiers. His Space Marines could adapt to any situation and fight in any environment. They could learn enemy tactics during battle and turn those tactics against their creators. And Dr. Yonsu had been the best at understanding alien technology. She could study any machine and figure out how to make it work better. Under her leadership, human science had advanced faster than ever before. As Deho read these files, a dangerous idea began to form in his mind. What if he could wake up just a few humans? What if he could make a deal with them? They would help him defeat the Zephyrians, and in return he would give them information about why they had been forced to sleep. His advisors would think he was crazy. The Council would call it the worst crime in galactic history. Every alien leader would try to stop him, but Deho was desperate. His empire was dying, and he was running out of options. Maybe it was time to break the galaxy's most important rule. Maybe it was time to wake the sleeping giants. The Chancellor closed the secret files and stared out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Zephyrians were preparing for their next attack. And somewhere else, billions of humans slept in their pods, unaware that one alien leader was about to change their fate forever. Deho had no idea what he was about to unleash upon the galaxy. 3 weeks after reading the secret files, Chancellor Deho made his choice. He called Captain Sora to his private chambers on the warship. Sora was his best Special Forces officer, someone he trusted with the most dangerous missions. Captain, Sora walked into the dark room where Deho waited. Her scales were darker than most Kethrins, almost black, which helped her hide during secret operations. Her eyes were sharp and intelligent, and she had never failed a mission. "You called for me, Chancellor?" Sora asked, bowing slightly. Deho turned away from the window that showed the stars. "I have a mission for you, Captain. It may be the most important thing you ever do, or it may destroy us all." Sora did not show any fear. "What do you need, sir?" "I want you to go to the human solar system. I want you to wake up one of their old scientists." Deho watched Sora's face carefully. For a moment, Sora's eyes went wide. Then she controlled herself. "Sir, that would break the Council's most sacred law. If they find out..." "They will not find out if we are careful," Deho said. "The Zephyrians will destroy us in 6 months if we do nothing. This is our only chance." Sora was quiet for a long time. She had served Deho for 10 years and trusted his judgment. But this was different. This was the kind of thing that could start wars between entire civilizations. "Which human?" she finally asked. "Dr. Yonsu. She is sleeping in the Mars research station. According to our files, she was their best scientist before the sleep. If anyone can help us understand human technology, it is her." Daeho gave Sora a datapad with all the information about the mission. She would take a small, fast ship that could avoid the Council's sensors. She would have a team of medical experts who knew how to safely wake someone from the artificial sleep. Remember? Daeho warned. You must be very careful. Humans who have been asleep for 50 years can die if they are awakened too quickly. And Captain, no one else can know about this mission. Not even your own crew can know the real purpose. Sora nodded and left to prepare. As she walked through the corridors of the ship, she wondered if her Chancellor had finally lost his mind. Everyone in the galaxy knew that waking humans was forbidden. It was the one rule that all alien races agreed on. Meanwhile, far away, in the center of the galaxy, High Counselor Junki was having his own worries. Junki was old, even for his species. The Altarians lived for hundreds of years, and he had been alive during the original human incident 50 years ago. Junki looked like a tall, thin tree made of silver metal. His kind did not have faces like other species, but patterns of light that moved under their metallic skin. Right now, those patterns showed deep concern. He was reading reports from the monitoring stations around the human solar system. For 50 years, these stations had watched for any sign that the sleep fields were failing, but lately, there had been strange readings. Advisor Munhee, Junki called to his assistant. Look at these numbers. Do they seem normal to you? Munhee was younger and had not lived through the human incident. She looked at the data with fresh eyes. There are small energy fluctuations around Mars, Counselor, but they could be natural solar activity. Or they could be someone testing the sleep fields, Junki said darkly. I want increased monitoring of the entire human system. If anyone is thinking of breaking the law, we need to know immediately. Back in Kethrin space, Captain Sora and her team were already traveling toward human territory. They used a ship designed for stealth, one that could hide from most sensors. The journey would take 2 weeks, even with their fastest engines. During the trip, Sora studied everything she could about humans. She read about their wars, their technology, and their culture. The more she learned, the more she understood. Why the Council was so afraid of them. Humans were not just smart. They were adaptable in ways that no other species could match. They could live in almost any environment, eat almost any food, and learn almost any skill. They were like water that could take the shape of any container. But what really made humans dangerous was how they worked together. When humans faced a problem, they would share information instantly. One human's discovery became every human's knowledge within days. They built on each other's ideas in ways that made their progress incredibly fast. Dr. Yon Su had been a perfect example of this. She had taken alien technology from 6 different species and combined it into something completely new. In just 5 years of contact with alien races, humans had advanced their science by centuries. As Sora's ship entered the human solar system, she felt a strange chill. Everything looked normal. The planets moved in their regular paths. The automated systems sent their routine signals. But she knew that under the surface, billions of sleeping humans waited. Mars was the 4th planet from the Sun, a red world that humans had transformed into a second home. They had built great cities under protective domes and filled the planet with research stations. Now it was all silent, maintained by machines while the people slept. The Mars research facility was built into the side of a mountain. It was huge, with laboratories, living quarters, and medical centers all connected by underground tunnels. Somewhere inside, Dr. Yon Su waited in her sleep pod. Sora's team landed their ship in a hidden valley and approached the facility on foot. Their equipment could break through the security systems that had been designed 50 years ago. Getting inside was not difficult. The real challenge would be waking the human safely. They found Dr. Yon Su in the main medical center. She lay in a pod that looked like a glass coffin surrounded by machines that monitored her life signs. Her body looked exactly the same as it had 50 years ago. The sleep technology had stopped her aging completely. Begin the awakening process, Sora ordered her medical team. The process was delicate and dangerous. The alien machines had to slowly reduce the energy fields that kept Yansu's brain inactive. If they moved too fast, her mind might be damaged. If they moved too slowly, the Council's monitoring systems might detect what they were doing. For 6 hours, the medical team worked carefully. They watched every number on their instruments, adjusting the fields bit by bit. Sora stood guard, watching for any sign that they had been discovered. Finally, Dr. Yonsu's eyes began to flutter. Her breathing changed from the deep rhythm of artificial sleep to something more natural. The machines around her pod started showing increased brain activity. "She is waking up," one of the medical officers reported. Yonsu's eyes opened slowly. For a moment, she looked confused and frightened. She tried to speak, but no sound came out. Her throat was dry from 50 years of sleep. Sora leaned over the pod. "Do not be afraid," she said in the human language that she had learned. "You are safe. My name is Captain Sora, and I need your help." Yonsu's eyes focused on Sora's alien face. Even after just waking up, her human mind began working quickly. She looked at the equipment around her, at the alien medical team, and at her own body that felt exactly as it had 50 years ago. "How long?" Yonsu whispered. 50 years, Sora answered honestly. "Your entire species has been asleep for 50 years. Even weakened from her long sleep, Yonsu's face showed anger, but it was cold anger, controlled and calculating. "Why?" Sora helped Yonsu sit up in the pod. "That is a long story, but first I need to tell you why I woke you up. My people are facing destruction, and we need your help." As Yonsu listened to Sora's explanation, her scientific mind began analyzing everything. She studied the alien technology that had kept her asleep. She examined the medical equipment that had maintained her body. She asked careful questions about galactic politics and the current state of technology. The more she learned, the more she understood how completely humans had been betrayed. The galaxy had feared them, so they had been imprisoned in sleep while aliens told lies about solar radiation. But Yonsu also saw an opportunity. These aliens needed her help, which meant they would have to share their technology and knowledge. Everything she learned could be used to help humanity when they eventually woke up. "I will help you," she told Sora, "but I want something in return. I want to know everything about the sleep technology, about what has happened to my people, about the galaxy's weaknesses." Sora agreed quickly. She needed Yeonsu's help desperately, and sharing information seemed like a small price to pay. Neither of them realized that by waking one human, they had started something that could not be stopped. Yeonsu's active mind was already beginning to affect the quantum fields around Mars. Like ripples in a pond, the effects of her awakening were spreading. High Counselor Junki's monitoring systems detected the disturbance within hours. The energy readings from Mars were no longer small fluctuations. They showed clear signs that someone had interfered with the sleep fields. "Alert all council members immediately," Junki ordered. "Someone has broken the law. Someone has awakened a human." Dr. Yonsu had been awake for only 3 days, but her mind was already working faster than Captain Sora had expected. The human scientist studied every piece of alien technology she could find, asking questions that made the Kethrin medical team uncomfortable. "This sleep field generator," Yeonsu said, pointing to a device Sora's team had brought. "It works by creating quantum interference patterns in neural tissue, but human brains are different from other species. We have more connections between brain cells." Sora watched nervously as Yeonsu took apart the device with tools from the Mars laboratory. "Is that important?" "Very important," Yeonsu replied, not looking up from her work. "When you force a human brain into artificial sleep, you have to suppress millions of neural pathways. But some of those pathways naturally resist the interference." Captain Sora did not understand the science, but she could see that Yeonsu was discovering something significant. "What does this mean?" Yeonsu looked up with a strange smile. "It means that my awakening is creating resonance waves through the quantum field. These waves are spreading through the solar system, and they are waking up other humans." Sora felt her scales go cold. "How many others?" "I cannot be sure yet, but the effect will grow stronger as more humans wake up. Each active human brain creates more interference with the sleep fields." While they talked, the resonance waves were indeed spreading through space. On the orbital station, Aegis, Admiral Jin A's sleep pod began showing unusual readings. The machines that had kept her unconscious for 50 years were struggling to maintain their control over her powerful mind. Jin-A had always been strong-willed, even as a child. During her military career, she had trained herself to think clearly, under pressure, and to stay calm in dangerous situations. These mental skills made her more resistant to the artificial sleep than most humans. As the quantum waves from Mars reached Earth's orbit, Jin-A's mind began to stir. Her dreams, which had been empty for 50 years, suddenly filled with memories of her last day of freedom. She remembered the emergency alerts, the alien ships appearing in Earth's sky, and the strange energy that had made everyone fall asleep. Jin-A's eyes snapped open inside her sleep pod. Unlike Yeon-Su's gentle awakening, Jin-A's return to consciousness was sudden and angry. She immediately understood that she was trapped, and her military training kicked in. The Admiral examined her pod quickly and found the emergency release that was built into all human equipment. Within minutes, she was free and walking through the empty corridors of the Aegis station. The station was huge, designed to protect Earth from any threat that might come from space. It had weapons powerful enough to destroy entire fleets, shields that could stop planet-killing bombs, and computers that could track every ship in the solar system. Jin-A went straight to the main command center. The station's computer systems were still running, maintained by artificial intelligence programs that had operated automatically for 50 years. When Jin-A entered her command codes, the computers welcomed her back as if she had only been gone for a day. "Computer, report on current status of Earth defense systems," she ordered. "All defensive systems are operational, Admiral," the computer replied in a calm voice. "Planetary shield generators are at full power. Orbital weapon platforms are ready for deployment. No hostile forces detected in the solar system. What about friendly forces? Are there any alien ships in our territory?" Scanning. One small vessel detected on Mars' surface. Ship design matches Kethran Empire specifications. Jin-A's eyes narrowed. Kethrans were in the human solar system, and somehow she was awake. This was not a coincidence. On the moon, Commander Tae-min was having his own awakening. The quantum waves hit Luna Base just as Jin-A was exploring the Aegis station. Tae-min had been sleeping in the Marine barracks along with 500 of his best soldiers. When the interference waves reached the moon, something unexpected happened. Taemin's natural leadership abilities, combined with his strong mental connection to his troops, caused the awakening effect to spread faster among the Marines. Taemin woke up first, but within an hour, 20 of his soldiers were also stirring, in their pods. Within 6 hours, over 100 Space Marines were awake and very angry about their 50-year imprisonment. "Sir," Sergeant Hae-won reported to Tae-min, "I have checked our equipment. Everything is still here. Weapons, armor, vehicles, even our ships. Whoever put us to sleep wanted to keep us ready for something." Tae-min studied the readings from their detection equipment. "Or they were afraid to destroy our military assets. Look at these energy signatures, Sergeant. We are surrounded by artificial sleep fields, but they are getting weaker. What are your orders, Commander?" "First, we secure the base and wake up more of our people. Then we find out who did this to us and make them pay for it." Back on Mars, Dr. Yeon-Su was sharing her knowledge with Chancellor Dae-ho through encrypted communications. She had analyzed Kethran military technology and already found several ways to improve their weapons and defenses. "Your plasma cannons are inefficient," she told Dae-ho during a video call. "You are losing 60% of the energy in heat dispersion. I can show you how to increase their power by 40% with simple modifications." Dae-ho was pleased, but also worried. Yeon-Su was learning about Kethran technology almost as fast as she was teaching them. "What about our defenses against the Zephyrians?" "Your shields work on a rotation frequency that is too predictable," Yeon-Su replied. "The Zephyrians have probably figured out how to time their attacks to hit between rotation cycles. I can design a random frequency generator that will make your shields much harder to break." While Dae-ho celebrated his first victories against the Zephyrian horde using Yeon-Su's improvements, he did not know that she was also learning everything about Kethran star charts, military organization, and political weaknesses. Dr. Yeon-Su had already figured out how to communicate with other humans using quantum resonance signals. She sent carefully coded messages to Admiral Jin-A and Commander Taemin, sharing information about their situation and coordinating their response. Admiral Jin-A received Yeon-Su's message while she was studying the Aegis station's sensor. Data. The message was hidden in what looked like background radiation, but Jin-A's military training helped her recognize the pattern. Dr. Yeon-Su is alive and awake on Mars, Ginny said to herself, and she has learned a lot about our captors. Ginny began reactivating Earth's defense systems, but she did it carefully. She powered up weapons and shields slowly, making the energy increases look like normal maintenance cycles. She did not want to alert the aliens who were monitoring the solar system until she was ready. On Mars, an engineer named Hyo-Jin was beginning to wake up in the Jupiter mining facility. Hyo-Jin had designed many of humanity's best spacecraft before the sleep. Her awakening was gentler than the others, but her mind was just as sharp. When Hyo-Jin's pod opened, she found herself alone in the massive mining station that orbited Jupiter. The facility was designed to harvest rare materials from Jupiter's atmosphere and moons. It also contained some of humanity's most advanced engine technology. Hyo-Jin spent her first day exploring the station and checking the equipment. Everything was in perfect condition, maintained by automated systems for 50 years. But when she accessed the station's communication array, she discovered something interesting. The aliens had been using human quantum communication technology to coordinate their sleep field generators. They had copied human designs but made them less efficient. Hyo-Jin smiled as she realized that she could probably break into their entire communication network. High Counselor Jun-Ki was becoming more worried with each passing hour. His monitoring stations were detecting quantum disturbances throughout the human solar system. The readings suggested that multiple humans were awake and active. "This is a disaster," Jun-Ki told the emergency council meeting. "We are detecting brain activity on Mars, Earth orbit, the Moon, and now Jupiter's moons. The awakening is spreading faster than our models predicted." Counselor Sung-min, who represented the peaceful Delphian species, looked confused. "How is this possible? Our sleep technology has worked perfectly for 50 years. Human neural patterns are more complex than we understood, Jun-Ki explained. When one human wakes up, their brain activity creates interference that makes it easier for nearby humans to wake up too. It spreads like a disease. Then we must act quickly, said Counselor Yoonji of the Hectarian Empire. Send a fleet to re-establish the sleep fields before more humans wake up. But Jun-Ki shook his head. It may already be too late. If humans have accessed their military systems, a direct attack could trigger exactly the kind of war we tried to prevent 50 years ago. While the council argued about what to do, Commander Taemin was taking action. He had awakened 200 Marines and discovered that someone had been helping the aliens who imprisoned them. "Sir," reported Lieutenant Dalsu, "I have been analyzing the sleep field generators. These devices are too advanced for most alien species to have built alone. Someone gave them detailed information about human neural patterns. Taemin studied the data his lieutenant had gathered. You think there was a human traitor?" The awakening cascade had reached critical mass. Across the solar system, thousands of humans were emerging from their 50-year sleep, and each one that woke up made it easier for others to follow. What had started as Chancellor Daeho's desperate plan was becoming his worst nightmare. Admiral Jin-A stood in the command center of the Aegis station, watching as her tactical display lit up with new contacts. Human colonies throughout the outer solar system were coming online as their populations awakened. Each colony that activated sent the same message. Humanity remembers. Computer. Status report on Earth Defense Fleet. Jin-A commanded. Fleet. Reactivation at 60% completion, Admiral. 230 vessels now operational. Estimated full activation in 18 hours. Jin-A smiled coldly. The aliens had made a critical mistake by leaving human military assets intact. They had probably thought sleeping humans could not threaten anyone, but they had forgotten that human technology was designed to work even when its operators were unconscious. On Mars, Dr. Yeon-Su was no longer pretending to cooperate with Captain So-Ra. The human scientist had learned everything she needed about Kethran technology and galactic politics. Now she was sharing that knowledge with every human who contacted her. "Captain," Yeon-Su said to So-Ra, I want you to understand something. Very important. Your people made two mistakes. First, you woke me up. Second, you assumed that I would be grateful. Sora's hand moved toward her weapon, but she stopped when she saw that Yon-Su was holding a device she did not recognize. This is a quantum resonance amplifier, Yon-Su explained calmly. I built it using parts from your sleep field generators. If you try to hurt me, this device will send a signal that will instantly wake up every human within 10 light years of here. Captain Sora realized that her mission had gone completely wrong. She had been sent to wake up one cooperative human, scientist. Instead, she had triggered an awakening that was spreading throughout human space. Commander Taemin was leading his Marines in the first human military action in 50 years. They had discovered a hidden monitoring station on the far side of the moon, built by the Council to watch for signs of human awakening. This is it, Marines, Taemin told his troops as they prepared for assault. For 50 years, these aliens have kept us imprisoned. Today, we start taking our freedom back. The monitoring station was defended by automated systems, but they had been designed to watch for human ships, not for human soldiers who could walk across the moon's surface in powered armor. Taemin's Marines moved like ghosts across the lunar landscape. When they reached the station, Lieutenant Dal-Su planted explosive charges, while Sergeant Hae-Won hacked into the alien computer systems. The station's artificial intelligence tried to send a warning signal, but Hae-Won cut its communications first. Data download complete, Commander, Hae-Won reported. We now have complete files on the Council's monitoring network and their fleet positions. Good work, Sergeant. Now let us send them a message they will not forget. The explosion that destroyed the monitoring station could be seen from Earth. It was the first act of human revenge, and it would not be the last. Engineer Hyo-Jin had been busy at the Jupiter facility. She had not only broken into the alien communication network, she had also begun upgrading human spacecraft with technology copied from alien designs. The results were impressive and terrifying. The first ship she modified was a simple cargo vessel, but when she finished with it, the ship could travel faster than any alien craft and had weapons more powerful than most battleships. She called it the New Horizon, and it was the prototype for humanity's new space fleet. Dr. Yon-Su, Hyo-Jin transmitted on the quantum channel. I have good news. I have figured out how to combine human engineering with alien technology. Our new ships will be superior to anything in the galaxy. How long until you can begin mass production? Yon-Su asked. The automated facilities here can produce one ship per day. But if we can wake up more engineers and activate more shipyards, we could build a fleet of thousands within months. High Counselor Jun-Ki was receiving reports that made his metallic skin glow with panic. The humans were not just waking up, they were preparing for war with technology that surpassed anything the Council had seen. Counselor, his aide Mun-Hee reported, our monitoring station at Luna has gone silent. The last transmission showed human soldiers approaching the facility. And our communication networks? Compromised. The humans have broken our encryption and are monitoring all Council transmissions. They know about our fleet movements and defensive positions. Jun-Ki realized that the situation was beyond control. Send an immediate message to all Council fleets. They are to prepare for full mobilization. We may have to fight the war we tried to prevent 50 years ago. But even as he gave the order, Jun-Ki knew it might be too late. The Council fleets were designed to fight other alien species, not humans who had spent 50 years unconsciously developing new technologies. Chancellor Dae-Ho was facing a complete disaster. The Zephyrian horde was still attacking his empire, but now he also had angry humans in his territory. Dr. Yon-Su was no longer helping him. She was actively working against him. Captain Sora, Dae-Ho transmitted to Mars. What is the status of the human scientist? Sir, Sora replied carefully. Dr. Yon-Su is no longer under our control. She has built devices that we do not understand and has been in contact with other awakened humans. I recommend immediate evacuation. Dae-Ho felt his empire crumbling around him. His generals were reporting that human ships had appeared in Kethrin. Space, ships that moved faster than anything in their fleet. The humans were not just free. They were hunting the people who had imprisoned them. Admiral Jin-A launched the Earth Defense Fleet in the largest space operation in human history. 300 ships rose from hidden bases around Earth, each one equipped with weapons and defenses that had been improved during 50 years of automated development. "This is Admiral Jin A to all human forces," she broadcast on all frequencies. "Today we reclaim our place in the galaxy. We will show every alien species what happens when you try to cage humanity." The first target was the Council monitoring station in the asteroid belt. The station was massive, built to watch over the entire human solar system. It was also heavily defended with the best alien technology available. The battle lasted exactly 17 minutes. Human ships attacked in formations that no alien tactician had ever seen. They moved like a pack of hunting animals, coordinating their attacks with perfect timing. When the aliens tried to predict their movements, the humans changed tactics instantly. Commander Tae-min led a boarding party that captured the station's command center while the fleet destroyed its defenses. The Marines moved through the station like a storm, overwhelming alien defenders who had never faced human soldiers in combat. "Station secured, Admiral," Tae-min reported. "We have captured 12 alien officers and complete records of the Council's operations." "Excellent work, Commander. Interrogate the prisoners. I want to know everything about who made the decision to put us to sleep." Dr. Yan-Su had finished her analysis of the sleep field technology. She had not only learned how to counteract it, she had found a way to make sure it would never work on humans again. "I have developed genetic modifications that will make all humans immune to artificial sleep fields," she reported to the other awakened humans. "Any human who receives this treatment will be impossible to put to sleep against their will." "How quickly can we implement this?" Admiral Jin-A asked. "I can begin with the awakened humans immediately. As for the ones still sleeping, we will need to wake them up first and then treat them." "Then let us wake up our people," Jin-A decided. "All of them." The Great Awakening began at Earth and spread outward like a wave. Human colonies on Mars, Europa, Titan, and dozens of other worlds received the wake-up signal that Dr. Yan-Su had perfected. Within days, billions of humans were opening their eyes and asking the same question: who did this to us? The answer came quickly, along with detailed plans for revenge. Engineer Hyojin's shipyards were working at maximum capacity, producing new vessels with hybrid human-alien technology. Each ship was better than the last as human engineers learned more about what they had captured. But the most impressive achievement was not the ships themselves, but how quickly humans adapted to using them. Pilots who had been asleep for 50 years climbed into cockpits of ships they had never seen and flew them perfectly within hours. High Counselor Jun Ki made one last attempt to prevent total war. He sent a message directly to Admiral Jin A, asking for negotiations. "Admiral Jin A," the message began, "I am High Counselor Jun Ki of the Interstellar Council. I was present during the original decision to implement the Mercy Sleep. I want you to know that we believed we were protecting your species from a war that would have destroyed you." Jin Ai's reply was brief and cold. "Counselor, you had 50 years to reconsider your decision. You chose to keep us imprisoned. Now you will face the consequences. Humanity is awake, and we are coming for you." The Council fleet that arrived at the edge of the human solar system was the largest military force ever assembled in galactic history. 5,000 ships from dozens of alien species, armed with the most advanced weapons available. 6 months had passed since Dr. Yan-Su's awakening, and the galaxy would never be the same. What Chancellor Dae-ho had started as a desperate attempt to save his empire had become a storm that swept across the stars, reshaping every civilization it touched. Admiral Jin A stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Retribution, watching as the last Council fleet retreated from human space. The great battle at the edge of the solar system had ended in complete human victory, but that was only the beginning. "Admiral," Commander Tae-min reported from the tactical station, "we have received surrender offers from 47 different alien governments. They are requesting terms for peace." "What about the Council itself?" Jin-A asked. "High Counselor Jun Ki has requested a meeting. He says he wants to discuss a formal treaty." Jin-A smiled, but it was not a pleasant expression. "Tell the Counselor that humanity will consider his request. But first, we have other business to attend to." The first item on humanity's agenda was Chancellor Dae-ho. The Kethran leader who had broken the galaxy's most important rule was now hiding in the ruins of his empire, watching as human ships hunted down his remaining fleets. Captain Sora had managed to escape from Mars, but her reports to Deho were grim. "Chancellor, the humans have technology that we cannot match. Their ships are faster, their weapons are more powerful, and their tactics are completely unpredictable." Deho sat in his command chair, feeling the weight of his terrible mistake. "How many ships do we have left?" "Less than 200, sir. And the Zephyrians are still attacking our outer colonies. We are being destroyed from both sides." "Sir," interrupted Communications Officer Kyung-ho, "we are receiving a transmission from the human fleet. They want to speak with you directly." On the main screen, Admiral Jin-A's face appeared. She looked older than her years, marked by the responsibility of leading her species back from the edge of extinction. "Chancellor Deho," Jin-A said calmly, "I believe you wanted our help with your war against the Zephyrians. I am here to offer you a deal." Deho straightened in his chair. "What kind of deal?" "Complete surrender of your empire to human authority. In exchange, we will protect your people from the Zephyrians and allow you to keep your lives. And if I refuse," Jin-A's expression did not change, "then you will face both the Zephyrians and humanity. I think you know how that will end." Deho looked around his command center at the faces of his officers. He saw fear, exhaustion, and defeat. His gamble had failed completely. "I accept your terms," he said quietly. "Wise choice, Chancellor. You will surrender yourself to Commander Tae-min for trial. Your fleets will stand down immediately." As the transmission ended, Deho realized that he had achieved something no alien in history had managed. He had awakened humanity and lived to regret it. Dr. Yeon-Soo was working in her new laboratory on Earth, a facility that combined the best human and alien technologies. She had become humanity's chief scientific advisor, responsible for integrating captured alien knowledge with human innovation. "The genetic immunity treatment is now complete," she reported to Admiral Jin-A during their daily meeting. "Every awakened human has been protected against future sleep field attacks. The treatment can also be passed on to their children." "What about our technology development?" Jin-A asked. "We are advancing faster than any civilization in galactic history," Yeon-Soo replied with satisfaction. "By combining our natural adaptability with alien scientific databases, we have made discoveries that would have taken us centuries to achieve on our own." Yeon-Soo's greatest achievement was the development of what humans called evolutionary technology, machines that could improve themselves by learning from experience. Human ships now became more efficient during battle, human weapons adapted to enemy defenses automatically, and human computers could predict alien tactics better than alien generals. Engineer Hyojin had transformed human space industry beyond recognition. The shipyards around Jupiter were producing vessels at a rate that terrified alien observers. But more importantly, each new ship incorporated lessons learned from previous battles. "Admiral," Hyojin reported from the Jupiter facility, "our latest ships are ready for deployment. The new Prometheus-class vessels are 40% faster than anything in the alien fleets and carry weapons that can adapt their frequency during combat." "How many are ready?" Jin-A asked. 500 ships of the line, with 50 more rolling off the production lines each week. If we need more, I can activate the shipyards around Saturn and double our production rate." The speed of human shipbuilding was possible because of something aliens had never understood about human psychology. When humans faced a threat, they did not just work harder, they worked smarter. Every human engineer, scientist, and worker contributed ideas that improved the production process. Commander Tae-min had become humanity's military governor for occupied alien territory. His responsibilities included managing the trials of war criminals and establishing human law in conquered systems. "Admiral," Tae-min reported, "the trials of the Council leadership are proceeding. High Counselor Jun-Ki has provided complete testimony about the decision to implement the Mercy Sleep." "What has he told us?" "The Council was terrified by human adaptability during the Virex War. They believed that if humans continued to expand, we would dominate the galaxy within 50 years. So they chose to imprison us rather than compete with us." Jin-A nodded grimly. Their fear was justified. What they did not understand is that their actions would make us stronger, not weaker. The trials revealed the full scope of the conspiracy against humanity. Dozens of alien species had cooperated in the Great Sleep, providing technology, resources, and political support. All of them would face consequences for their actions. But Taemin had also discovered something important about alien psychology. Most alien species were not naturally aggressive or competitive. They had evolved in stable environments where cooperation was more important than competition. This made them excellent at maintaining peace, but terrible at adapting to threats. Humans were different. They had evolved on a dangerous planet where adaptation meant survival. This had given them mental flexibility that aliens could not match. The Zephyrian horde, which had seemed unstoppable against alien armies, proved to be no match for human military tactics. General Namgil, the Zephyrian warlord, found his forces, outmaneuvered and outfought by human commanders who thought like predators rather than diplomats. "How is this possible?" Namgil demanded after losing his 5th consecutive battle to Commander Taemin's forces. "My warriors have conquered 100 worlds. How can these humans defeat us so easily?" His advisor, war leader Boram, had studied human tactics during their recent battles. "Sir, the humans fight differently than any species we have encountered. They do not follow standard battle patterns. Instead, they adapt their tactics to counter whatever we do. Then we will change our tactics too. Sir, that is the problem. Every time we change our approach, the humans change theirs faster. They learn from our moves during the battle itself. By the time we adapt to their tactics, they have already moved on to something new." General Namgil was learning what Chancellor Daeho had discovered. Fighting humans was like trying to fight an opponent who became stronger and smarter with every exchange. The final Zephyrian defeat came when Taemin used a tactic that no alien military academy had ever taught. He pretended to retreat, allowed the Zephyrians to pursue him into what appeared to be a trap, then revealed that the real trap was completely different from what they expected. The Zephyrian fleet was destroyed in a battle that lasted 3 hours. General Namgil was captured alive and spent his remaining years studying human military philosophy, trying to understand how his unstoppable horde had been stopped so completely. High Counselor Jun Ki arrived at the neutral station where the peace negotiations would take place. He was accompanied by representatives from every major alien civilization, all of them hoping to avoid the fate that had befallen the Kethrans and Zephyrians. The station was located at the edge of what had once been Council space, but which was now under human control. As Jun Ki's ship approached, he could see human vessels patrolling the area with a confidence that spoke of absolute military superiority. Admiral Jin A met the alien delegation in the station's main conference room. She was accompanied by Dr. Yan Su, Commander Taemin, and Engineer Hyo Jin, the 4 humans who had led their species back from the edge of extinction. "High Counselor," Jin A said as the meeting began, "humanity is prepared to discuss terms for galactic peace. But first you should understand our position." Junki's light patterns showed nervousness. "We are listening, Admiral. For 50 years, your council ruled the galaxy through fear and deception. You imprisoned an entire species because you were afraid to compete with us honestly. Now you have seen what happens when humans are truly motivated." Dr. Yan Su spoke next. "We have analyzed every alien technology in our databases. We have identified weaknesses in your military systems, your economic structures, and your political organizations. We could destroy every alien civilization in the galaxy if we chose to do so. But," Commander Taemin added, "we do not wish to be conquerors. We wish to be leaders."